Ice on my neck, that's incoming. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Super speed Sonic, I'm running.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. I got Raffi here.
What's up, Ben?
First timer. Welcome.
I'm excited.
Not to bring up Manug again like we had before, but he didn't want to come on. I don't know. Some cousin beef or something going on.
Challenge Wednesday.
Challenge Wednesday.
Unbelievable.
So we got a whole lot of things to talk about tonight. Pretty jam-packed. To start off, I want to talk about Tiger Woods. I'm a big golf guy. You know, I know a lot of people aren't. I played growing up. My dad had me, learn the game, play. So I know what it's like to be in his position. Obviously, I'm not one of the best ever, but I know golf. And he was an idol. He was a role model growing up, and obviously he's had his issues and, going back with whatever that was,
with his wife.
over a decade ago now, I think. So it's really tough to see this. I've seen reports where there weren't any like drugs or alcohol involved. Thankfully, you never want to see something like that.
They were saying that he was leaving his hotel room in a rush at like 7 a.m. And he was gonna do a movie or a show with Dwayne Wade and something like that in golfing.
Okay, all right. So that's tough. I mean, this guy, he's lucky to have his legs, let alone be alive right now. Multiple compound fractures,
Broken ankle,
shattered his ankle. But it sounds like he's awake and
it's
just
not
recovering.
life-threatening, but it's definitely career-threatening.
Yeah, I'd say it's less than likely. Less than 50-50. I don't think. At this point in his career, with his back issues, he just had back surgery recently. So that's that on top of it. It's tough to see. I hate to see it. I think a lot of people hate to see it. So hopefully he has a speedy recovery.
I mean, I'll say this. I don't watch golf at all. In the last 10, 15 years, I've only watched golf once, and that was when Tiger came back and won one of the last majors that he had.
Yeah, 2019.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it's top 2 all time.
Yeah, he might not be number 2. So by the end of it, we'll see. So speedy recovery, Tiger. I know he's not watching this, but still, all the best. So moving on, I want to get to the Red Sox real quick. I haven't talked about them for a while. I like what they're doing. I'm not gonna get into it too much, depth wise, but they're building something a little bit. I
don't know what they're building.
I wouldn't say it has the exact feels of 2013 when they brought in all those guys and you didn't know what it was like. They still have some big names.
This is more of a rebuild.
Yeah, and I hated the Benintendi trade. Awful trade.
You thought that the Mookie Betts trade was bad. This was worse. I think this is hands down worse.
It was just basically get him out of here. Is one of those kinds of trades. So I didn't like that, but they made some solid moves. I'm genuinely surprised at them. I didn't think they were going to do anything. They haven't gotten any like big time players.
There was no big free agents.
Yeah, it was really just Trevor Bauer.
But there was a reason for it.
Right.
If you go for a big market free agent in baseball, it counts against your draft capital.
Right.
So if you go and make a marquee free agent signing, your draft. So right now they're projected the 4th overall pick. It would drop down.
Right.
Which is awful.
I think top 10, your pick is.
I think it's second round and below.
It's okay. Yeah,
I think that's
that's right.
And
also,
you would rather have a top second round pick than a lower second round pick.
And also, if you go over whatever luxury tax, whatever you lose, you also lose draft picks. Yeah. So it's tough. It's rules that they've had to put in.
Did you see the rumor of one of the kids that they're going to draft? Jack Leiter.
He's the Vanderbilt pitcher, right? Yeah.
There's
2 of them.
Oh, dude.
I forget the other one's name. Supposed to be unanimous number 1 pick.
99 miles per hour strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, insane. Is he a lefty or I think he's righty?
No, I think he's a lefty.
Is he a lefty?
I think he's a lefty.
Another lefty? All right. I mean, hey, whatever.
Starting pitching is what this team needs.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Baseball takes a while, but we'll see. But moving on, we'll get to the Red Sox. I'm kind of excited for them. Bruins. I don't know what to say. Sunday they pile on the Flyers and
Flyers
on Lake Tahoe, and it was just it was a one-sided game pretty much the entire time.
It was the
and
most watched game in NBC sports history. On that channel, it was the most watched hockey.
in any
game.
sport?
No.
Oh, hockey.
In terms of that channel for hockey, most watched game ever.
Hey, I mean, people want to see stuff like that. I guess
It looked different.
it was a nice background. Yeah, it was different.
That's what it was.
Different.
It looked different.
Yeah.
And it looks cool.
Yeah. So they haven't played since then. They're playing tomorrow. They got some days off after that. That was just a beatdown. They
play the Islanders tomorrow.
Yeah, they had a couple of losses in between some, that win streak or point streak that they had going on. And I hate seeing them lose to the Devils. That's like when the Celtics lose to the Pistons. It's like, come on, like really, it's literally the equivalent of the Celtics losing to the Pistons.
It's bound to happen every once in a while. It's
Yeah,
not as
but-
bad as the Celtics.
But the Devils have like had their number, so I don't know what that is. It's obviously not a team they're gonna have to deal with in the playoffs. So like whatever, but I don't know. Let's keep beating up on the bad teams too, please.
They need to make a major trade, I think, though, this year.
Yeah,
Because they're proving to be another top 2-3 team again.
yeah, I'd say
Which
so.
I personally, after they got rid of Chara and some of the got rid of Torrey Krug,
Yeah.
I didn't think that they can return to the top tier level. I think it may have to do with the divisions and how they spread out this year, but still they're a top team.
Yeah, well, the defense has been an absolute shock.
Yeah.
No one expected that. But the problem is one injury and it's over.
Lazon just broke his hand.
Yeah, so I mean, he might be replaceable. I meant like a major, like you lose McAvoy, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
here we
over.
go. There goes the defense. But
I mean, Matt Grzelcyk is he paired with McAvoy or is it somebody else?
I think it was either Lazon or Zaboral lately.
Lazon's injured right now.
Yeah.
Grzelcyk is injured.
Now I don't know what they're gonna do now. It's probably gonna be Zaboral. I don't know, but we'll see.
No.
Yeah, I mean, goaltending needs to step it up. If the offense is playing like this, Tuukka can kind of do whatever
They
he
need
wants.
more
But yeah,
even strength goals.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
They've
'Cause
always been the power play team. But yeah,
Bruins is elite of the elite when it comes to power play.
Yeah.
But they need to get more even-handed goals.
they got the perfection line.
Yeah, but it's nice in the regular season. We need to
Right.
be elite in the postseason.
You need that secondary scoring because clearly what was shown against the Blues
Mhm.
in the finals, Stanley Cup Finals, a couple years ago.
That's why there was stupid rumors about trading like Pasta for somebody like Sidney
Yeah.
Crosby to see if that would make a difference in the postseason.
There still might be some Crosby. I've heard some Crosby rumors, but like
I
not
saw a
involving
different
any of the
rumor.
top guys. I've just heard like some rumblings. Like that'd be cool. but
Crosby's one thing. There's another rumor in the offseason that they should go after Jack Eichel. And for somebody like that,
oh yeah,
would be insane.
yeah. I mean, it again. I've said this a million times. With anything, it takes two to tango, and he's still pretty young. He's the Sabres' best player, and they're in the division. So
He's an elite. He's an elite forward.
oh yeah,
Elite.
yeah. I don't know. You'd have to give up a lot, a whole lot. He's a
here's
second
the thing.
overall pick,
Yeah.
so he's still very young. I don't
It's
know.
a matter of who you don't value anymore.
Yeah,
So it would have to be somebody like Pasta in that deal to
Yeah.
get someone like Jack Eichel.
yeah. They just need to get that secondary scoring. That's the major thing to try to. And I don't want him to get
It was
complacent.
Charlie Coyle last year until he just
Yeah, I just don't want him to get complacent. I've said it before.
complacent.
Like you can see, like it's happened before where it's not only with the Bruins. It's happened Celtics,
Mhm.
Red Sox, whatever. Like
it seems like
we're-
all of Boston sports is being complacent.
right.
at the
We're
moment.
we're rolling good here. Everything the season's
Mhm.
great, and we're on top of the world. Let's not make a move. Let's not like mess things up, and then it just goes down the drain because you might have not made that one move.
It's staying put.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Which the Celtics are known to do, and it's the worst.
yeah. So let's get to the Celtics. Man. Okay.
They suck. They
Okay.
suck.
Okay. Yeah.
For having two All-Stars on that team to be sub 500 it's borderline disgraceful. Borderline.
So I've gone on about this before, obviously recently, because it's not just like recent games that they've been playing like this. You know, these recordings happen once a week, so I usually have a few games beforehand, even the night of, to look.
base your argument about the
Right.
Celtics.
And they're playing right now at the time of recording. They're on their second game of the back-to-back against the Hawks at home. They're up, or I'm sorry, now they're down 15-13. This is a team that I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do against the Hawks. Trae Young could just go insane at any given moment, but that's another all-star snub. But
not necessarily a snub when you compare all the players.
I'd say so. I'd probably put him. Honestly,
would you put him over?
I'm surprised, just like not to get off on a tangent, but I'd say Vucevic over him. I don't know.
If you look at Vucevic's numbers, it's absolutely insane.
I know. I'm just thinking like popularity-wise, because it is kind of like a popularity contest.
Yes.
So it's like I'm surprised Trae Young didn't make it. Devin Booker's in now. Anthony Davis is out, obviously.
Yeah.
But going back to the Celtics, you blow that lead against the Pelicans. This is just the most recent things, obviously. You blow that lead against the Pelicans, who just the game before blew an even bigger lead to the Phoenix Suns. So how are you losing to a team like that? Not only just losing, how are you blowing a lead like that to a team like that? Not even talking about the Mavericks game. These are just teams that you should be beating. You know, like I don't get it. You lose to the Mavs, who have been an underwhelming team. They don't have their second star because Kristaps Porzingis is made out of paper mache.
Who might be getting traded away.
Right, yeah, if they can even trade him. This guy can't stay healthy. But it's just Luka and some like guys.
Yeah.
And you lose to the Mavericks. You like the whole Luka like taking over at the end of that game, the last two shots. I can't be mad about that. He's done that before. It was good defense. They contested the shots.
You can't be mad about the game, how it ended. You have to be how it led up to
how we got there.
Exactly.
So it's just like, why are you blowing that lead? Why did we have to blow every lead every single time?
Do you remember the second Hawks game that we played? Not the first one where we lost to Trae Young. The second one where we're up heavy, but then the Hawks cut it. We were like,
right, Kemba came back for that second game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where they were up by 27. They cut it down to 9. What Tristan Thompson said after the game.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't put our foots on their necks to end the game.
They never do.
They don't.
They never do. I was actually going to text like a group because we were kind of talking about that in one of my group chats. Like, hey, like, oh wow, Celtics, like they blew the lead. Oh, they're coming back. And I'm sitting there at the end of the game. I literally had the text written. I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to be on the other side of a team blowing a lead, huh? Like, because the Mavs blew that lead for us to be back, for the Celtics to be back into it at the end there. And I'm like, I'm not going to say that. And I'm glad I didn't, because we lost the game anyways. Celtics lost the game anyways. I need to stop saying we. I'm not a member of the Celtics. But that's just, between that game and the blown game against the Pelicans, you had Zion on lockdown in that first half, and he just completely took over in the second half.
He was handling the ball the entire second
yeah,
half.
Brandon Ingram's going to get his. He's lethal, and that's another possible all-star snub, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't, and with Kemba, man,
he's injured, however.
Okay, but
you can give him some slack for that.
Don't come back then. Don't come back
sense.
right now. Give it more time. Take as much time as you want, because I don't want to see this. This hurts. This hurts to watch.
Oh, no, it sucks.
He drops the 28 points. I forget, it was the game he came back against the Hawks. He drops that 28 points, and everyone's like, "Oh, is he back?
He put up,
what does this look
21
like?"
against the Mavs.
Right, but he took, you know how many shots he took?
Lot.
And you know the game before that, he shot 1 of 12 against the Pelicans just from 3. He shot 1 of 12.
He's almost as bad as Marcus Smart when it comes to the 3-ball now. If you look at his stats, he's that bad right now.
There's that, but
he has a higher % chance of making essentially a contested 2 than a wide open 3.
But you expect Kemba to play well. Smart, we've kind of grown like to know how he plays on offense. I mean, he's going to shoot it. He's like that guy when you go to the gym or whatever and you're playing on the court and like you give the ball, he's taking the shot. So like that's Marcus Smart, and you know like that's him. But Kemba, you expect more. He's never been like a facilitator
especially
in his
for a max
career.
contract.
Yeah, that's the worst part of it. It's the max.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deem him the next Gordon Hayward, but he keeps getting there, and he's playing worse than Hayward did. That's the thing.
No, at least when Hayward came back, he was also eased in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Take as much time as you want. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Kemba's getting eased in.
But the biggest thing of all is you got to make a trade. You can't trade Kemba. It's not going to happen. He's not.
Nobody's taking that contract.
No one's taking the contract. He's fool's gold at this point if you do that.
Especially with that report with all the GMs being
they
upset
were
with
angry.
Danny
I was about
Ainge
to
trying
say.
to get rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Danny Ainge he needs to make a move. He needs to use that trade exception because you don't have all the time in the world to use it. You have a year. So
I think Danny Ainge is most to blame for this year because he's
said it himself.
He's a very greedy person.
I was going to get to that.
When it comes to all of his trades.
Right.
You had the opportunity when Gordon Hayward wanted to go back to Indy to trade him to Indy to get Miles Turner, which this team would have desperately needed.
Yeah.
He's in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. That's how good Miles Turner is.
He's always been a great shot blocker.
Oh, no, he's an elite shot blocker.
Yeah.
But in terms of Turner being what this team ultimately needs, a 3-and-D type of player because he can shoot the three.
Right.
Why wouldn't you bite on that deal except you go out and say, oh, yeah, we want Miles Turner, and we also want Victor Oladipo, and we also want that small
Something
forward.
else, yeah.
That small forward that they had that went off in the bubble.
Oh, T.J. Warren.
T.J.
I don't think he was asking for all of them, but he might have been like either one or the other.
He was bargaining for more than he could have.
Right, and he wasn't in that position because your guy was a free agent. So
exactly.
I don't know. It's just
he took the money, went to the Hornets,
but
and the Hornets are so lucky to give him that trade exception. They shouldn't even deserve it.
Right, but that's the past.
Yeah.
So like that already happened. I'm talking right here, right now. He has to make a move. We can't wait till the trade deadline. Please, Danny, don't wait till the trade deadline. Make a move. I don't know what the move has to be. I'd like it to be a star. I've said Andre Drummond over and over and over again.
What if he's on the buyout market? Do you think he'll come here?
I don't think they're going to buy him out.
If he gets bought out, would he choose to come here or would he go to the Nets?
Either the Nets or the Lakers.
Because that's why
why you have to make a trade.
Exactly. You can't risk the buyout market.
They're not going to buy him out though. That's all. Usually guys that get bought out, I'd say you don't see them making almost $30 million a year. And plus they usually just get traded. Like,
would you take a DeMarcus Cousins?
Honestly, at this point, yeah, what do you have to lose? Because there's clearly some issues in the locker room right now without him, and that's always been like, oh, don't bring him in. He's going to create issues here, there, on the court, off the court.
Some of the younger players?
Possibly. I mean,
does he have that clout? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's just the thing is he's not the same player that he used to be.
Yeah.
So if he was, that would probably be more so a thing of him coming in here and like setting guys straight. But I can just see some pushback now that he's not what he used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that's happened before.
Torn Achilles is a lot.
Yeah.
He hasn't been the same
He's
since.
torn his ACL before too, hasn't he?
The Achilles is worse though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He might have torn his ACL.
I think he did. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, the Achilles is tough. I mean, the Rockets are obviously going nowhere fast, so it's a smart decision.
It was kind of fun seeing him and John Wall go off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would like him, but I don't want that to be the number one the move, like the main move. I don't want Blake Griffin. I want Drummond.
Do you want to know why Drummond's not going to come here? Doesn't fit Brad's system. But
what's the difference between? Well, okay.
To tell you the truth, neither does Tristan Thompson.
I was about to say, what's the difference between what Tristan Thompson is doing and what Andre Drummond can do for you here? Obviously, a lot. Yeah. Drummond's a way better player, but you have Tristan Thompson rolling out there, shooting the three every once in a while. I thought he was supposed to knock those down. Where's that been? I don't get it. So I thought he was supposed to be like a Tice kind of 3-point shooter, maybe a little bit worse, but like I haven't even seen him attempt them. So if you're gonna have a guy just sit down in the paint like he does, like he's a solid offensive rebounder. He always has been, Tristan Thompson, but he's undersized. He's 6'9".
His real position's the 4. That's where he started off with the Cavs.
Yeah, I'd say more so he's a backup center. I don't know if he has, like I'd say Tice is a good starting 4. They're a small team. Their forwards are as big as their centers, so it makes no sense. You got to get a guy that's big and can. He's not the best free throw shooter. He can't shoot, but that's just me like wanting that player. But Danny, the problem with Danny Ainge is he has gotten not complacent, but it's just gone to his head. I think, again, I'm not saying
the sheer
this.
fact that he's coming out like in this last week saying that, hey, it's all my fault.
Right.
And I don't know if you heard the play-by-play guy for the Celtics, Gorman.
Right.
Absolutely ripping the Celtics to shreds today.
I think Sean Grandy did too.
Gorman came out and said, he said word for word like this, do I think that starts off with our top 2 players in Jaylen Brown and Tatum? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. He literally said that the problem was the top players and how their mentality is infecting the rest of the roster. Yeah,
well, they've been prominent on this team. They're young guys, so that can get to their heads. But it's one thing to have things get to players' heads. It's another thing having like when things that have happened in the past get to the GM's head or the coach's head. Brad Stevens, not so much. Danny Ainge, I think that trade, I think ever since the success of the big three, like the way he made that come together, it was game over with like just any common sense has thrown out the window with Danny Ainge.
That big three trade was, all lucky, right?
I mean,
Mikhail hooked him up.
Right.
That's what it was.
Right. But I think ever since that happened, obviously it's looked at as him fleecing those teams.
That and the Nets trade.
Right. Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So that it starts there, then the Nets trade happens. It's just getting to his head. There's other trades too that have happened, smaller trades.
There's only one other trade that went to his head that backfired completely, and that was the Perkins for Jeff Green trade.
Yeah, he wanted that younger guy in Jeff Green, but yeah, that did backfire.
If that trade never happened, I think we could have beat the Lakers again. That's just my opinion.
I can't argue with that, but it's just he's let these things get to his head to the point where it doesn't make sense anymore. I don't know if you heard this or listened, and I said this a little while back. It's not recent. It was Manu and Al were here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trading with Dre in fantasy football. It's
you either win the deal or don't do the deal at all.
Right. Him.
Yeah.
That's what Danny. That's what I feel like Danny Ainge is like. Oh, here's this. You're in talks. Whatever. Okay, this is great. I think this helps both teams. I'm sorry. What? No. I want your team to be horrible. Give me your first round pick, and we come out on top. It can't be like that every time. You have to lose some deals, whatever that means. To win to make the team better.
Yeah.
But you don't have to lose a deal here. Just make a trade. Make a sensible trade. I don't get it.
When you think about all those first round picks that the Celtics had in the last 5 or so years, you're telling me you couldn't trade all 5 of them to move up either a spot to get a better player or to get a rental that could have made a difference for this team?
Right.
Last year, they were talking about Bertans. They're like, we're not going to give up two first round picks for a rental.
I don't hate that one. He's not the best player. He's okay.
Here's what I would ask. Would you have traded Aaron Nesmith and Payne Pritchard for Davis Bertans right now? Think about it that way.
No.
I would have.
No. Not with the money he's making either. $18 million plus
money
a year.
Doesn't matter.
It kind of matters. I don't know if you're able to retain him. No. If we're going to trade for a guy at the trade deadline that you can't retain, it's guaranteed that you cannot retain them, I want a star. A legit star. That's the only thing I'd be comfortable with losing.
You want to make a Kawhi Leonard type of mood.
I mean, that's a superstar.
Yeah.
I think Andre Drummond's a star in this league. I think he's top 10, top 7 center.
Could be, yes.
And I'm comfortable with that guy walking after the year, even if you give up 2 first-round picks. As long as you tried. I don't think Davis Bertans is trying. I guess, but it's not worth it. Yeah, it's
because here's the thing. I'd rather them make a move than not make one at all.
Of course. Just
because last year they didn't make a move at all.
Yeah.
And it kind of upsets me that they did that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going down that road all over again. And if they're going to make a trade this year, I feel like they're going to make the trade that we're all going to hate.
Probably. That's usually how it goes, isn't it? How about Terry Rozier balling out in Charlotte? No, not coming back. Just balling.
Oh, just him going off? Dude, the Hornet,
he's averaging,
Gordon Hayward before his injury was going off.
Yeah. Terry's averaging over 20 points a game. He's hitting game winners.
He's actually balling,
yeah. Compared to what Kemba's doing for the price that they're both costing each team, I'd say as of right now, you lost that sign and trade. So.
Oh, big time. Not even a question.
Yeah. So I can't keep seeing these shooting nights out of Kemba. It's
the thing that kind of
gross.
shocked me was finding out that Kemba had knee procedures in Charlotte before he came here.
Got some music in the background for you guys, DJing.
They were talking on the Sports Hub that he had knee procedures before coming here, and they still went after him.
We got the Lakers fans trying to interrupt my Celtics talk over there. No. They got their own problems to worry about right now. The knee procedures in Charlotte. That's a tough pill to swallow to find out that information.
Do you think they just keep gambling on? I just got a notification they're down by 13 after the end of the first.
That's great.
John Collins has 17 points.
Oh, great. Another guy that they could
have gone.
That'd be great if they could trade for him.
I think he's more of a free agent target.
They want it. I mean, if the Hawks are going to trade him, I would make the trade.
Hawks. He turned down, what was it, like a $100 million contract with the Hawks?
Yeah, and they want to trade him. He's on the market, so.
I saw the rumor that they're going to try and exchange. They're going to try and trade Kristaps for John Collins.
We're not exchanging any girls here. Sorry about that. I mean, John Collins, that's another guy, young guy you'd have to give up picks for. He's a restricted free agent, so you have like the rights. That could work, but that's easily 2 first-round picks, at least.
Yeah, I was going to say at least. He's
Starting
worth a
point.
lot more.
Probably Neesmith, too.
I'd flip Neesmith. I'd flip Jeff Teague. I'd flip Thompson. I'd flip, realistically, in terms of John Collins just by himself, everybody but Pritchard, Jalen, Tatum.
You might have to go up Pritchard. You might not have to because of Trae Young, but he's a good sixth man to have on a team like that. But maybe you could get like Rondo back or something. I don't know, like in a deal like that.
Do they have any bad contracts other than Capella? I would also take Capella.
They're not going to trade
Yeah,
Capella. That's him being there is a big reason why they're probably willing to
do.
trade John Collins like this.
Makes sense.
We'll see what happens.
They wouldn't move him to the 4 though.
Capella?
Yeah. No.
But John Collins was like the stretch 5 before Capella got there, so it's like it doesn't look like it's working
Capella
out.
would
too much
easily
for
be
him.
the tallest player that we have.
Yeah, and even then, he's still not that much taller than
Exactly.
the other guys. Very athletic. He's a beast. I love John Collins, but we'll see what happens. They need to make a move. Like it's more so than the Bruins. We say the Bruins have to make a move. Imagine how badly the Celtics have to make a move. We're entering like desperation time. Like there's a red button right here. I can't press it because it'll stop the recording, but it's like we're about to push the red button. Like we're really getting there. Like it's getting really ugly out here, and I don't like it. It's been ugly for a lot of teams, but
I feel like this team is going to finish around 500.
And they can still make the playoffs with that, but you have to do something in the playoffs at that point. Like
at that point, if you're around 500, I've almost rather them lose to get a better draft pick than enter as an 8th seed and get knocked out by either the Bucks or the Nets.
Yeah, I mean it's shaping up as long as Anthony Davis is healthy and comes back. It's shaping up to be a Lakers-Nets finals, which is just that's.
If the Nets win a championship before the Celtics do after that trade, you should be ashamed.
That's gonna be a really big talking point if that happens. So we don't have to worry about that, for the time being.
The sheer fact that you fleeced the Nets and they come back and they win a championship before you.
And they took one of your guys.
Yep. One of the guys that you traded for and ends up saying that he doesn't want to be here.
Could have had Colin Sexton instead.
Goes to the All-Star game while he was on your team and goes up to Durant and says the Nets have 2 max roster spots.
Yeah.
Let's go to Brooklyn. It's the worst.
So that's what it's shaping up to be. I don't know. Figure it out, Celtics. Figure it out. I don't know what else to say anymore. I'm like hitting the mic because I'm like I keep shaking my head. I don't know. I just figure it out. Danny Ainge figure it out. Brad Stevens didn't figure it out before he gets fired. I don't know. Mid-season, I wouldn't expect that to happen, but if this season ends really badly, don't be surprised. Like after and during the off season
For Brad Stevens to get fired?
Yeah.
No, he's not going to get fired.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you want? Here's what I'll say. They will try and trade Jalen or Tatum before they try and fire Brad Stevens.
Okay.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
All right. Maybe.
Because Brad Stevens has done, I agree, he deserves a share of the blame because you're a coach. Take control of your team. No matter how young these players are, you need to take control. But at some point, they're going to go down and be like, all right, you know what the reasonings were? Al Horford didn't want to be here, so he left. Gordon Hayward didn't want to be here, he left. Kyrie Irving didn't want to be here, he left. Terry Rozier, Marcus Morris, all these guys that the Celtics had, and they all left. And it always comes down to the same thing. There's something wrong behind the scenes with this team.
Yeah.
Do I think it's more so the coach, or do I think it's sort of a player's mentality type of situation? Like I feel like the next player that we're saying that there's something wrong with him and he needs to leave is Marcus Smart. He hasn't been playing, but whenever he does play, you feel as though you need to make sure that he gets his touches too.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But you also, I think you've definitely noticed a difference. Like he's been out, and that's when
and the defense.
that's
sucks.
when all that's when all the losses really started piling
no balls
up.
on the team right now.
Right. So, but to your point, with these guys not wanting to be here, there's an underlying problem clearly that because these guys don't want to be here. Doesn't the coach deserve blame at some point after years and years and years of guys leaving eventually? Like,
it could be.
I don't want to see Brad get fired, but
But then why would Kyrie say a couple years ago, this team needs a veteran presence?
They do. I think they need that, and they need a coach that can actually.
I feel like they thought that Jeff Teague and Tristan Thompson can do that, and clearly they can't.
Yeah, no. I mean, they just didn't have the money. Those are the scraps that they were able to put together.
But not even. I feel like you may need to go get better veterans than them.
Yeah.
In terms of when they hired Evan Turner as an assistant coach, I thought to myself, if you're gonna go get a previous Celtic to come back and be a coach, why don't you go get Perkins? He will literally bust the balls of any player that's in there, and he has credit to do so. Not one person on that team in the last few years, other than Kyrie, and Kyrie went as the second best player on his team. They don't have the experience to go up to a player like Tatum or a player like Brown and be like, hey, you need to do this. The ball's sticking to your hands, pass it around, stuff like that. Not one player, not even the coach can do that right now. Somebody like Perkins could.
I don't know. There's moves to be made out there. There's the right moves and there's the wrong moves. Hopefully they actually make a move.
They've been making the wrong moves for quite a while.
The wrong moves are not making moves.
That's
for the most part.
That'll be included in there.
So, yeah, figure it out, Celtics. I don't want to keep doing videos like this. We just rambled on.
The worst thing
about
that I'm
this
afraid
team.
of is that they're going to waste their trade exception.
Yeah, that would be really upsetting.
I feel like they went through all that hassle to get rid of Hayward and get that trade exception, and then at the end of it, not use it.
That would be really upsetting for them to either not use it or use it poorly.
Yeah, waste on somebody that they don't need.
Right. But anyways.
Moving from one sub-500 team to another.
Patriots. I mean, it's not so much Patriots talk, it's NFL talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to get into the Patriots just yet. I just, let's check in on the NFL. It's, post-Super Bowl. Free agency's 3 weeks from today.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I literally can't wait.
The draft is in 2 months. We're getting there.
It's my favorite draft of all four sports.
I'd say the NFL and the NBA off seasons are.
Oh yeah, they're two of the best. They don't compare.
They're the best.
Baseball's hands down the worst.
Some people love the off seasons more than the actual seasons. And I don't blame them. It's really entertaining to see when some of these guys move.
The off season leads into fantasy. It's the best.
Yeah, fantasy football. Okay, we'll get there when we get there. But yeah. So, one more thing. AMC stock. Let's go. Oh, that came back. I sold it immediately. I was down. I'm sorry. I was down. I was down bad. I was down real bad. Real bad on that stock. The amount of shares.
How much did they go up today?
It progressively went up the last few days.
I know GameStop went up to 100% growth.
It was up 90% overall, I think, something like that. But AMC went from, I think it closed at it was 8 to 9, I want to say, and it just jumped up. I think the highest it hit was 11.30 at one point. I sold it 11.23. That bailed me out. I brought my portfolio out from the grave. I am never touching that stock again. Get out of here. Thank God. Saved me. Thank you, whoever, I don't know, WSB getting back into that for some reason, just pumping it. I don't know. Just get back at Vlad.
Reddit was down when it happened.
This isn't stock talk. Let's get back to sports. I'm just really happy.
Made up some money.
So let's start with the draft. I'm going to do a mock draft. And it's a way too early mock draft. I'm sure people have seen that before. We're only going to do the first round. It's going to get a little more complicated, so bear with me. It's going to slow down as the bigger names get taken, but let's just figure it out from here. No trades. Everyone's picking. I can't do that right now.
That's fine.
I can't do predictable trades. That's
fine.
No Deshaun Watson.
How about this? Who do you think is gonna make the big trade for the first round?
I don't know. I think It's not going to be the Patriots if that's
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
getting
absolutely,
at.
no, absolutely not. No. If the Patriots are going to make a trade, they're going to trade out of the first round. It's going to piss me off when they do it.
Looking at these teams, I'd say if there's a team to trade up, I'd say it's the Bucks. I don't know how far it would go. They do have the 32nd pick. I'd say they're going to only because you have Tom Brady. There's rumors now that they're excited to meet with him to keep him longer, to extend him. That came out today.
Yeah, they were talking about
the GM and the owner.
They were also talking about
coach.
how he's not going to practice until June,
right?
Because of that knee sculpt that he had.
Right. So if he has the potential of staying longer, you definitely have him next year, maybe even the year after that. Trade up. You're definitely going to lose some guys this offseason, the Buccaneers. So trade up and get a good young talent to just keep building. I don't see the point of sitting at the 32nd pick. That's just what I think. Just looking at some of these teams, you could have a team move into the top 10 for a quarterback, but I don't know. I'd say otherwise maybe the Panthers, but I don't know.
I low-key want to see the Raiders trade up.
For who?
For a quarterback.
I don't think they're done with Derek Carr.
They should be. They can easily. So here's the thing: you have Mariota, you have Carr, you also have 6 picks a game, Nathan Peterman.
Ugh.
Mariota, you can easily cut. It's not going to affect their cap at all.
I think they're going to trade him.
Yeah, they could trade him too. It's one of the two. Derek Carr is not. He's not. I don't think he's a leader. I feel as though for him, he's not the type of player that's going to take that team over the edge. Like for some people like Joe Burrow, you can easily see like he's superstar talent.
Mm.
If they can somehow trade up to the 3rd pick, because if the Dolphins have 2 top 10 picks,
okay,
get somebody like Trey Lance, or Mac Jones is not a top 5 pick either. But if they trade up for a quarterback, I would.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it would be tough, but that's something that I would want to see.
I think more so than Derek Carr, it's the team around him. That team's just not good. They drafted the wrong receiver in Henry Ruggs. Their defense is awful, typical Raiders. They just really have Josh Jacobs. Their O-line was okay.
Josh Jacobs also was injury prone last year.
Yeah, so I don't know. Just let's get to the draft. No trades.
Yeah.
No trades.
Right.
Maybe later. We'll figure it out. Number 1.
Jacksonville, yeah. Easy. Trevor Lawrence.
I was going to say Trey Lance. No, I'm kidding. It's Trevor Lawrence.
Say.
It's Trevor Lawrence. It's like that. Let's move on. 2nd pick.
If the Jets are tempted to keep Sam Darnold, then they can go with any other position that they want.
2nd pick. That's where I'm leaning because I don't have them taking a quarterback. I don't have them.
Keep in mind they have a new coach, stupid Robert Saleh, who they keep on showing on the TV.
You hate that guy. You hate when they zoom in on him.
Every single time the 49ers make one defensive move, they zoom in on the defensive coordinator's face. Oh, it pissed me off so much.
Here I have them taking the offensive tackle out of Oregon, Penny Sewell.
No.
Why?
The reasoning why is because they just got Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton.
Becton.
Sorry.
They just got a left tackle. I don't think they'll go for another tackle. I would much rather them go with somebody like Devontae Smith, get a superstar wide receiver to go with Sam Darnold. But if they trade away Sam Darnold, like one of the rumors is that he's going to go to the 49ers, then you can go with a quarterback like Zach Wilson or anybody else like that.
I just saw today that Jimmy G's like their guy. I know that's
saw
been
that
said
too.
before, but whatever. So here's my reasoning with that pick. Not to like take too long on every single one. The Jets, they could very well take a quarterback. They could very well trade for a quarterback.
It's too easy.
I think with Sam Darnold being done after this year, his 4-year entry-level rookie contract.
I don't think they're going to pick up his option.
No, probably not. You have time.
It's worth like $25 million if they pick up his option.
You have time to see how it goes, and this is why. You have him play out the last season of his contract. You draft another offensive tackle. Yes, you took Mekhi Becton, solid prospect. It seemed like every time I saw them playing the Patriots or saw them on TV, he was getting walked off with an injury, so that's kind of interesting. But I think he's great. He's a huge dude, great tackle. Penny Sewell is mostly, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, he's more so a right tackle. But here's the thing. If you spend 2 of those top picks back-to-back years, there's nothing more important to a team in today's NFL
than your O-line.
Your O-line or your quarter. After your quarterback, it's your offensive line. You build it from the inside out. So if you have two very young guys that are already like great, because he's projected to be one of the best tackles that come out like recently. Mm-hmm. You have those guys as your building blocks. You don't have to go out and sign guys like that because the Jets, as much money as the Patriots have, the Jets have even more to spend this offseason. So you don't need to go get a guy like Devontae Smith. You can go sign a guy like Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay or something like that. Chris Godwin, if you want to give that a try.
They're going to go for $15+ million.
Right, but you have that. They have that money.
No,
they have so much money. So I think you draft that guy. You give Sam Darnold one more year. Worst case scenario, you suck for another year. You've been the Jets. What has life been besides that recently?
It's a rinse and repeat.
Right. So then, if you're that bad, you go and draft that quarterback, and now you have a second and third year tackles on each side for that young stud quarterback that you think is going to be the next guy. I just think that's the route to go. That's what I would do. I mean, maybe you miss out on one of these guys. You very well could, but that's just what I think.
Could be.
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But moving on. Third pick, Dolphins, fleecing the Texans. Maybe it goes back to the Texans for Deshaun Watson. Who knows?
It could be.
But
I feel as though Deshaun's going to go. Like, there was a stupid rumor of, like, if the 49ers try to go after him, it'll be, like, one of the defensive linemen and 2 firsts and 2 seconds for Deshaun. I want to see him just get traded.
Right.
He doesn't deserve to be on the Texans. He deserves to be on a better team.
They don't deserve him.
Oh, yeah. They don't deserve him.
Yeah.
No.
So, with this pick, I have the guy that you just mentioned, Devontae Smith. And I've had fun with this. Like, because you'll see in a couple more picks how much fun I had with stuff like this. I want to see Tua and his college receiver together. I just want to see that happen. He's the Heisman Trophy winner. I know everyone says undersized, whatever. He's not the best receiver in the draft class, but I think
feel as though the Dolphins would get rid of Tua?
They could. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you feel as though, like, because the scenario they just said, they want Devontae to be back with his receiver, to be with his quarterback.
That's what I want. Even as a Patriots fan, I'd love to see that.
I want that with Devontae. I just don't want it to be with Tua.
What do you think? Oh, you're thinking later on.
Later on, you can.
Yeah, but they weren't together for as long.
If Devontae Smith goes to the Dolphins on pick number 3, they also have the 18th pick. If Mac Jones falls to the 18th pick, I'd rather see him draft Mac Jones too and trade Tua away.
That's just a lot. That's like Madden GM like stuff going on there. Like, I'm just gonna stick with what I think is like going. But I get what you're saying.
Do I think that Devontae Smith is gonna go to the Dolphins? Probably. I see that.
I could see him not going. That's just what I want.
I definitely don't see them drafting a QB.
Yeah. No. They're either trading for one or they're sticking with Tua. But yeah. So I think that would be a great combo. Number 4 pick. Falcons. I have them taking Zach Wilson.
I think they're gonna go QB.
Yeah.
Because they said they said that Julio's not gonna get traded, Matt Ryan's not gonna get traded. They got a new head coach there now, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they'll try it for one more year.
Right.
And then whichever quarterback that they draft will take over next year.
Right. Because they can't trade Matt Ryan anyways anytime soon. That contract is too big. It's too recent. They literally can't trade him. It will just kill their cap too much.
Well, here's the thing. You can never say never because we all thought that Jared Goff and Carson Wentz's contract were untradeable, and they still did it.
Yeah, that's fair. Matt Ryan,
if the price is there, we all know if the price
guys.
is there, anybody can get traded.
Okay, that's fair. I can agree with that. We'll see, though. I don't know. I think they take a quarterback and work with Matt Ryan for now and then bring the kid up. 5th pick. Like I said, having fun. Jamar Chase to the Bengals, reunited with Joe Burrow. Oh,
that's one.
I love it. I want to see it happen so bad.
I would take Sewell here.
If he falls.
If he falls,
I'd take him here. Yes, absolutely. And maybe they trade up for him. But if he's gone, there's no other offensive lineman. And they could sign guys. You can always sign offensive linemen. We've seen it in recent drafts.
There's a lot this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good old
linemen. And we've seen in recent drafts where like 2nd and 3rd round offensive linemen are even better than the 1st round ones. Like with these top teams with their high 2nd round picks, almost dipping into the 1st round, it works out that way sometimes. So AJ Green leaves, bring in Jamar Chase with Joe Burrow. You have Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins.
Be crazy.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so much fun. And then you can just build the O-line.
Hopefully he's back by the start of the year.
Yeah. 6th pick.
Eagles.
Jalen Waddle.
Yes, I would take an offensive player.
There's your QB and receiver meeting up again.
I would
thing.
take a receiver here. I wouldn't take a tight end. I would take a wide receiver to just add on to what they're trying. They said that they're going to get rid of Alshon Jeffrey now in the offseason again. So who's their star wide receiver? The guy they drafted last year?
Jalen Reagor.
Yep. That's all they have.
Which they messed up because they missed out on Justin Jefferson.
What else do they have? What was his name? The 6'5" wide receiver that was like undrafted that like went off for like 3 weeks. Was it Travis Fulgham?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
And I've seen Kyle Pitts here.
Keep
on
in
some
mind,
mock drafts.
Zach Ertz is probably not going to stay there either.
Right, but I don't. They kind of moved away from these 2 tight end sets, so I don't think the tight end is like the position to go here. I think receivers the way to go. You have 2 young receivers. You have Dallas Goedert, who's still young, and then Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders. That's a very young offense and it's very explosive. So that's the way I would go personally.
Makes sense.
And maybe they can move back. They might not have to take him there. But yeah. 7th pick. Oh, Lions. There's a lot of things that can happen here. I think they'd want one of these receivers to fall to them.
I was going to say, because now I don't think Kenny Galladay is going to stay with the Lions.
And Marvin Jones is gone too.
He's way too old. So I think somebody like Jamar Chase would fall to the Lions.
He could, or Waddle. I'd say
either one of them.
Chase goes before. But this is, first mock draft. I have them.
I would have them take a receiver, but
I have them building on the defense a little bit more before that. I have them taking Micah Parsons out of Penn State, the linebacker.
Love Parsons.
Yeah.
I want if the Patriots were ever to trade up to get a linebacker, he's the one I want.
Right. He's the top linebacker in the draft.
He reminds me of Devin White and like Devin Bush, those like elite linebackers that the Steelers and Bucs got. He reminds me a lot of him.
Right. And they can always tag Kenny Galladay, which I think has ended up happening. There's been that's pretty much all but been said at this point. You have Jared Goff. You have your running back, DeAndre Swift. There's no offensive lineman to really take here. I'd say they roll with Jared Goff for at least this year and see how it goes.
Their only offensive threat other than Swift is T.J. Hawkinson. That's it now.
Yeah, and so you don't take a tight end.
Danny
here,
Amendola.
He's gone too. They're all free agents.
Oh my God, yeah.
Their number 1 receiver left on the team is like Geronimo Allison right now. Yeah. Number 8, Panthers.
They need to go QB. If they don't trade for Watson, they need to draft a QB.
That's what I had here.
Which is unfortunate that Teddy Bridgewater didn't work out there.
Yeah. It was tough. It was a toss-up. I think it could be either guy. I'm going to go with Justin Fields here.
Yeah.
I think they take Justin Fields. He could be the second best quarterback realistically, or the second one taken. I think Zach Wilson's just like a specimen.
No, Zach Wilson's going to go way higher just because of the raw ability.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
So it's tough. I know the Panthers really want to find that long-term quarterback, and that's been their focus this offseason, or it's going to be. So if they don't, again, there's no trades happening in this, so they take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Number 9, Broncos.
They need to build on defense, especially with that's my opinion. I know Drew Lock sucks. I know
what I have. I have a quarterback.
You can go quarterback. That's fine.
Trey Lance.
That's fine. They need to build on the defense. You lost Chris Harris Jr. You're about to lose Von Miller. That's the rumor that they might just cut him to get rid of the money.
Justin Simmons. Could he get tagged?
He's going to get tagged. I think he's going to get tagged just to keep him around. But your defense is going to blow. Like your offense, I feel like is right now set. You're going to have Cortland Sutton come back. Yeah. You have Jerry Jeudy. You have Noah Fant. You have a decent online, not a good one. You have a decent one. They can't upgrade with Drew Lock by either acquiring somebody that's in the free agency or trade for somebody, but they need to get a superstar defensive player here, whether it be a linebacker that can an edge rusher or a cornerback. So like Patrick Surtain in the second, he's on the draft board there. That's who I would have taken because right now they don't have any defensive backs.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I think they're gonna go Trey Lance here. That's just me. I mean, John Elway's been hell-bent on finding that QB, and they've been really up there with the Deshaun Watson.
Missed on so many draft picks for QBs is insane.
Yeah, and Drew Lock's clearly not the guy, so I think Trey Lance, they're going to take that flyer on because that defense, no matter what, is always solid. Like it's like the Bills. Like you just rotate guys in and out, and it's a revolving door. They always have a pretty solid defense. Mm-hmm. So I think you go Trey Lance there. That's just my opinion. 10th pick, Dallas Cowboys.
I think they go O-line here.
This is where I have Patrick Surtain going, where you just had him at the Broncos. I think they need secondary more than pretty much anyone else.
They did lose Byron Jones.
Yeah, so and they're about to lose Uzier too, potentially. He's a free agent. Yep.
That's crazy.
So I think Patrick Surtain is the guy.
The reason why I go O-line, Did you see how bad Zeke did last year?
Yeah, I mean they've fallen off.
They had injuries. That's why.
But you can also you can put that on Dak being hurt.
Yeah.
Why Zeke was pretty bad.
Because they just boxed it all up. And
Right,
went after him
right.
there's
You
no
have
other
Andy
option.
Dalton and Ben DiNucci and whatever, the meme himself. But yeah, they need to figure out their secondary. 11th pick, Giants. This is where I have Kyle Pitts going.
See, I don't like that. I see that everywhere for mock drafts that Kyle Pitts is going to go to the Giants. Why would you do that?
Evan Ingram's gone.
Is he a free agent?
Yep.
That's why. All right.
Kyle Pitts.
I would have tried to re-sign Evan Ingram before I draft Kyle Pitts.
I think Evan Ingram could be a potential Patriots guy. I think so.
I don't want him because he's too injury
They
prone.
have to get a tight end. It's either going to be Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, or Evan Ingram.
You see what Henry said? He wants to go to a team that has a good quarterback. Do we
Well,
have
there
a
goes
good
that.
Do we have a good quarterback?
No.
No.
So now you're down to Jonnu Smith or
I would take
Ingram.
Jonah.
yeah, I would too over Evan Ingram, but
Yeah, yeah.
but you might not be able to
You
have any
can't,
say in
yeah,
that.
you can't
so.
pick. Yeah.
12th pick,
49ers.
49ers.
I would go corner here. And the reason
Yeah,
behind that,
Richard
Sherman came out and said he's not coming back to the 49ers.
Right,
You already have a decent defensive line. The problem is that they're all injured, so they're all going to come back.
right,
That one stupid game that they all played in MetLife where every single player got injured.
right. One thing though, and this is why I don't have them going defense, is you don't know what's going to happen with Trent Williams. He's a free agent. They're left tackle.
True.
So I'm
They
having
traded for him, yeah.
I
They
have
could've gone
them
for-
Rashawn Slater taking the offensive tackle. You could go Christian Darrisaw too.
He's kind of small to play tackle. 6'3".
Yeah, I mean, but so is Isaiah Wynn,
Yeah,
and he's been okay.
I guess.
So that's just what I have with them. 13th pick, Chargers. I think they go hard at trying to protect Justin Herbert.
And get an O-lineman.
Yeah, this is where I have
I
Christian
like that.
Darrisaw going.
I like that.
You just go all in protecting that guy.
Yeah.
Their defense should come back and be better than last year, and they already have an okay offensive line. This would just help big time.
They have a decent – their offense is pretty good.
Yeah, they've great
Their
playmakers.
defense – the problem with their defense last year is that everybody was injured.
Right, they always are too.
But when they're healthy,
Right,
you have names everywhere.
right. So I think that's the best move
Going
for them.
O-line for Chargers, yeah.
14th pick with the Vikings. This one's tough.
So for the Vikings, I would have taken the risk and go QB here.
No.
I hate
They
Cousins.
just signed Cousins. It's not
No,
going to
no, no, no.
happen.
They signed Cousins like 2 or 3 years ago.
No. It was this past offseason.
They had another extension.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah. I have this guy. He's kind of jumped up. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia, linebacker. I think they need to go back to the drawing board with their identity, and Mike Zimmer loves his defense. You got to build on the defense.
You could.
You got to build. You could go secondary here too, but I think that's the second best linebacker as of right now, and that's what I have them taking. That's just what I think right with that.
I'd rather invest in the future, and I feel as though Kirk Cousins is what's holding that team back.
They're trying to win now. That's the problem.
Because here's the thing. How surprised would you be if Kirk Cousins got traded to the 49ers, reuniting with the head coach
That's
there?
been a rumor. Matt Ryan's a rumor with that too.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think they've said Jimmy G's their guy, so I'm gonna take everyone's word for it right now.
For now.
Patriots.
As long as they draft any position other than running back or cornerback, I'll be happy. I don't care what it is.
So I've seen this guy. It says he's the 27th ranked prospect here, 4th at his position. Jeremiah Owusu
Karamoa.
Notre Dame. I like that, Notre Dame. So
If Parsons falls to 15 somehow,
Oh,
some way,
yeah.
I would take Parsons. in a
I'll
heartbeat.
freak out, but I think he's top 10.
Yeah.
So this is a guy. It's just a position that needs to be taken. It needs to be done. They need to figure it out. They're pretty desperate for linebackers right now, so I think that's pretty cut and dry.
I think they're pretty desperate for every position. to be
Yeah, but
honest.
linebacker on defenses, that was their biggest. I'd say their biggest weakness this year. Juwan Bentley showed that he literally
can't-
cannot move like left to right.
Ever since he got injured, it just ruined it.
Yeah, he's not. He can't be, especially if Hightower leaves. We don't know that. If Hightower comes back, I don't think this linebacker pick happens. But
No.
who knows?
He's definitely not coming back for that money he's making.
Yeah, 16th pick, Cardinals.
This one's tough.
Yeah, I mean
So here's the thing. On here, I know you have the same page open.
Yeah,
I would take who they're getting, who is technically position ranked number 1 in the position.
Yeah, you could. I don't think I had him go yet. I don't think I said Caleb Farley yet. So
Well, no, here's the thing. The reasoning why, well, I don't think you said it, but in
Yeah.
terms of his position rank, he's number 1 on CBS.
Right.
I would take him strictly because Patrick Pearson's not coming back.
Right.
That's why.
That's one option. You
You
could
have
go
no
pass
other-
rusher. You could go to O-line, but I think that you're
Your
right. That's,
your safeties are pretty set.
right.
Buda Baker's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a top corner now on that team. Your offense is set as well. I feel like your D-line is also set with Chandler Jones hopefully coming back from his injury.
Right.
So going with a top star cornerback, it'll hopefully help out that team a lot.
17th pick, your team that you think could trade up, Raiders. I have them taking Gregory Rousseau here, the edge rusher out of Miami.
I would take him too,
You got to figure out how to replace Khalil Mack still.
which is unfortunate.
Oh, we're exchanging girls again, apparently. So, yeah, I think that's pretty cut and dry.
It's so stupid that they traded away Khalil Mack.
Yeah. I mean, they just didn't make the right picks with the picks that they got for him. That's the big thing.
I remember they who they get that stupid defensive lineman. It was like the fourth
Was it Christian
overall pick.
Wilkins?
No, it wasn't
No.
Wilkins. It was another. It was a edge rusher.
It was like 4th pick.
Exactly. He was,
it was-
like the
it was a
he was like the
reach.
defensive player. Of
He's
the
not bad. He's been
It was
solid.
a huge reach. That's
It
the
was a
problem.
reach at the time.
Yeah,
I forget. I know who you're talking out of
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was a reach.
anyways,
18.
Dolphins, 18th potential.
So you had him taking
Trade.
Devontae Smith as a number 3 overall pick. What do you go here?
I think they're gonna look at their defense and say, "This is set. We'll figure we figured this out. It was pretty good last year." I think they're gonna try to protect Tua more. They're gonna take Elijah Vera Tucker, a name I've heard a lot, potentially with the Patriots too, out of USC.
I would personally get a superstar running back here to go with Devontae Smith. I got Najee Harris. That's just me.
I don't think so.
Because who's their running back right now?
What was the undrafted guy? I'm going blank. Oh, the fantasy stud. What was his name? This is bad. This is like proving your point. I can't remember his name. I think they stick with him, though. Why am I going blank? I shouldn't be going blank right
Trade
now.
him to Zaire. He sucks.
What's his name?
I forgot.
The
fact that we don't remember his name says a lot. I think they're going to go running back with the 2nd pick. I think Najee Harris is the player to go with.
I don't think so, but I just think they go offensive line. That's just me. It makes
helps.
sense.
It makes sense to help out Tua, but they need more weapons, in my opinion. There's very little offensive weapons. On
Myles
that
Gaskin.
team. There you go.
Myles Gaskin. I mean, the thing is, I'm going based off of what they showed last year. They showed, if they have a revolving door at running
Their
back.
defense was pretty good.
Right.
That's
their
what it is.
defense is set. Their running back, it was
Yeah,
a,
anybody that could run the
it was
ball,
a
you'd be
revolving
fine.
door, and it worked. Salvon Ahmed
Yeah.
comes in out of nowhere when
does good for a
Gaskins
couple
gets COVID, gets
Mhm.
hurt, does great. Matt Breida, whatever. I think they go offensive line and protect Tua more.
No,
That's
makes
just
sense.
that's what I think.
19.
19th pick, Washington football team. You got to go offense. They might go quarterback here. Honestly,
I don't think they'll go quarterback.
I think they do.
They just signed, what's his name? The kid that went off.
yeah, but you can't put it on him. He's
I mean, he showed something.
right, but that's like a backup steal.
Could
The
be.
one they gave him. I think they take Mac Jones. I think this is where he goes.
He could go to here. Yeah.
I think this is where he goes.
It's
I
either,
don't think he starts
it's either
right
that
away.
or they go online.
They could, or receiver.
Yeah.
I just think, Heineke is going to be the starter, and then he's a bridge guy to someone they
He's
draft.
not gonna be
Right.
A game.
There's a lot of
he's-
hype right
exactly.
now. Right.
I think
it's
he's not
Mac
gonna
Jones.
do what he did in the playoffs every single week.
Right.
That's not gonna happen.
Mac Jones is the pick here, I think. Bears.
I'd go wide receiver here.
I have them taking Elijah Moore.
So that's what I was gonna say. I would take Elijah Moore
Yeah.
strictly because if they lose on Allen Robinson, they need to replace that
Right.
production.
And I think they are, unless they tag him.
I was gonna say unless they tag
Yeah.
him.
So I think Elijah Moore, I think he's definitely the 4th best receiver.
It's so stupid that they're still gonna have Mitch Trubisky there.
They might. He might go. He's up, isn't he?
No.
He's up after. No, he's a free agent.
They didn't pick up his option. But
No,
they
yeah.
don't know if they're
Nick
gonna,
Foles is still there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's bad. That's worse, in my opinion.
He's there for another 2 years.
Something like that, yeah. They could probably cut him because they traded for him, but
Yeah.
I think that's the pick as receiver, especially because Mac Jones goes before. Maybe they trade up and take him. Who knows?
Could be.
21st pick, Colts. Don't have to worry about quarterback here anymore. I think their defense is
Their
pretty
defense is
solid.
It is solid.
You could go offensive line here, I think. Maybe receiver.
Their O-line is actually really good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go O-line.
I don't know.
Actually, maybe because what's his name retired? Costanzo.
Yeah, that's huge.
Costanzo did retire.
So if they're going to go O-line here, who's the guy? Alex Leatherwood. You could take that Alabama guy. Yeah,
That's what I was
6'6",
gonna
a big dude. Yeah, I think that's one of the most cut and dry picks of the whole thing.
If they don't go O-line, then you're going to go wide receiver because one of their veteran wide receivers is a free agent this year, T.Y. Hilton.
Right.
Yeah,
But I think he stays.
I don't think he'll stay. No. I don't think so. I think he's gone. I think it's more likely that T.Y. Hilton will get signed to another team, like a 1-year, $10 million contract.
Okay.
I think Patriots are on him too.
They could be. I just hope that's not the best receiver they sign.
Absolutely. I hope not. I hope that's not their biggest free agent either.
22nd pick, Titans. I'm going to give this to you right away. Christian Barmore. Barmore. They need a defensive line, defense in general,
Yeah.
defense, Titans.
They found out that the Jadeveon
That's
Clowney
it.
experiment didn't work out.
They could still bring him back. They still need to draft defense.
I think Clowney's washed up.
We'll see what happens.
It's very.
It's just he was definitely getting double teamed. That's the only guy they really had. So
True.
you got to bring him. It's defense. Jets, back to the Jets, 23rd pick.
So we said
I said offensive line.
Yeah, I said QB, or no, I said wide receiver to go with Sam Darnold.
Yes, you did.
That's what I was saying.
I said, and I actually this is where I have it. Kadarius Tony Tooney. Again, I'm awful at pronouncing. Out of Florida, yeah. So I think that's where they take the receiver. Brashard Perriman's up; he's gone. Jameson Crowder should still be there.
I think he's a cap casualty.
They could sign a big free agent, and that could cancel this out. Or you could just double up on offensive line and try to protect, but I don't think that's the move. So
their defense is also bad.
Yeah, but I'd say
they have a need everywhere, to be honest.
Right, yeah, they're up there. But let's stick with receiver right there.
Yeah.
I think that's the spot. Steelers. This is where I have your boy Najee Harris going. James Conner gone. Your boy James Conner. Both your boys. Your boy James Conner out of here. Najee Harris comes in. That's what I think.
I think this is where Mac Jones falls to.
No.
Because here's the thing. Ben Roethlisberger's going to come back for one more year. You have no other options now. Who's in your pipeline?
Yeah, that's
for
fair.
what's next.
That's a fair point.
Whether it's Mac Jones or whether it be another QB. I think right here, this is where you draft a QB to build on your future.
Right.
And then I would say another running back will go in a second or a third round.
Right. 25th pick, Jags. Offensive line to protect Trevor Lawrence. Looks like the guy here, Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State, another big dude, 6'6", 320.
That's clear cut.
Makes sense. Browns. They don't have to go offensive line here. I'd say they build on their defense. Kwity Paye out of Michigan, defensive lineman.
You could go there.
6'4", 272.
Their D-line is pretty good, though.
Yeah, I just think I think that's something you build upon. Because you're going to get Myles Garrett getting doubled. That's the problem.
I would go linebacker here.
You could. I don't know. Who do you have? Who do you think?
If there is anybody available, like Zaven Collins. That's who I would take.
All right, I'll change it. You convince me.
Strictly because you have your D-line set already there.
Yeah.
You have Myles Garrett. You have Olivier Vernon. You have the defensive tackle. I think it was, what's his name?
Did Danny Shelton go back there?
No, Danny Shelton went to the Lions, and he's also a free agent.
Okay, yeah.
You have, he used to play for the Jets. What's his name? He went to the Vikings. I think that's the player. He's over there now.
I forget. I don't know.
It's definitely not Snacks Harrison.
Yeah. It's just some random guys on the Browns.
It's a defensive tackle, regardless.
Okay, that's
fine.
Their
D-line is pretty set. I think they need to go linebacker
All right,
here.
Zaven Collins to the Browns. Baltimore at 27.
I would go wide receiver here.
You could.
You have no offensive threats.
The thing is,
have tight ends.
The thing is, they're another potential free agency destination for receivers.
It could be.
And you just used a first round pick not too long ago on
last year, Marquise Brown.
Hollywood Brown 2 years ago.
Oh man, it's been 2 years, dude.
So I'd say Creed Humphrey is the guy here just to protect Lamar Moore, offensive lineman.
Also because what was his name?
Marshall Yanda.
No. Marshall Yanda retired 2 years ago.
Oh, he did?
Whoops.
They haven't done a good job of replacing him.
Yeah. It's one of the tackles, either Ronnie Stanley or Orlando Brown Jr. came out and said that he wants to be traded. He doesn't want to be in Baltimore.
Oh, wow.
One of the tackles that they just signed.
Okay, that's big. Oh,
So-
yes, I know who you're talking. Orlando Brown.
Yeah, either Orlando Brown or Ronnie
It was
Stanley.
Orlando
One of those-
Brown. It was.
He came out and
I
said that
just
he wants to
remembered.
get traded. So fine, if you're going to trade him away, then get another offensive lineman.
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. 28.
Saints. They could go quarterback here. I think
it's way too early to go QB. You just invest a lot of money in Taysom Hill. So
yeah. I'd say defensive line.
they just drafted Marcus Davenport. They had Trey
That was a
Henderson.
couple years ago.
I know,
It hasn't
I know.
worked out. I don't know.
They had Trey Henderson, who had for majority of the year was leading the league in sacks. Not to mention they have Cam Hayward. Not Cam Hayward. You have Cameron Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? No, you're right.
Would I go defensive line there? No.
I go offensive line. It's
That would
it's one
make
of the
more
lines.
sense.
It's
I
one
would
of the
take offensive
lines.
lineman.
Jackson Carman is the last offensive lineman I see here in the top
I'd take
rankings out of Clemson.
Yep.
It just makes sense because things getting old. Tyrone Smith, he's their left tackle, right? Yeah.
No, not Tyron Smith. He's on the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, it's
Armstead.
I always get those two mixed up. They're both so good. Yeah, he's getting up there. So
Mhm.
I think they're pretty committed to either Jameis or Taysom Hill as their next quarterback. So
Jameis is only 1 year contract, so he's a free agent again.
yeah.
Go for that after.
Packers.
So if the Steelers aren't going to get him, then I would say the Packers will get him because Aaron Jones is a free agent.
Najee Harris. But they
Najee
just
Harris.
drafted A.J. Dillon.
He's a power back.
So was Aaron Jones is kind of considered that too.
Yeah, Aaron Jones can get paid
I think he's in a leave. They keep Jamal Williams and they have A.J. Dillon waiting.
as your running back.
I think that's what
so
it is.
Do you finally think that Aaron Rodgers is going to get
A receiver.
receiver?
I just think there's no one good enough to take around here
No.
at this point. I think they try to sign someone. I could see
can
them
see that.
going after like Will
Will
Fuller
Fuller.
or T.Y. Hilton. I think
because
those
Will
are
Fuller
those are
was
the guys.
linked to the Packers.
Yeah. I'd say build on the defense here. I keep saying that for every team, but Jalen Phillips out of Miami,
You can go that route.
defensive lineman. I think they could get that pass rush going.
They have a decent pass rush. You have the Smith.
You have the
brothers,
linebackers, though, edge rushers and linebackers. I think you need a guy like up front, really.
a big defensive tackle.
Yeah. That's just me. Bills.
So here's the thing. I actually asked some friends that live in Buffalo, like, what would you do in the first round? And they're like, they would go also with Najee Harris because they think that Zach Moss sucks.
Okay. I mean,
But here's the thing. Your offense is pretty set. You have your wide receivers. You have Cole Beasley. You have Stephon Diggs. You have Dawson Knox as your tight end. Your O-line is decent as well. In terms of defense, I would go with right here. I would get like a defensive tackle for this team because I feel like the Bills can get run over.
yep.
So I would go with a big defensive lineman here, whoever is available, like the next best position. That's what I would take.
Right here, right now, it's an edge rusher.
I don't think they need edge rushing.
Okay.
I feel as though, like, in terms of free agents, which we can go over after, I feel like there's a lot of free agent edge rushers that I feel like the Bills can go after. In terms of what they really need, they need somebody like they used to have the Marcel Darius type of player.
Right.
That's what they need.
I just don't really see anyone left.
They've always had that big defensive
Yeah.
tackle. Like before Marcel Darius, it was that white guy. Oh my god, it was he stayed there for like.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking
15
about. I forget
years.
his name again. Another guy, I forget his name. I know who you're talking about. He was a vet leader there for
Yeah.
a while.
Stud.
Yeah. We'll leave this up to whatever. I don't have like all of the rankings in front of me right now.
I would
mean,
say, but in terms of at this point, because it's the last 3 picks, we'll just say what position they need. I say defensive tackle just to shore up the running game because I feel like that's where their major hole was last year in terms of their defense. Because I feel like their offense is set; they can keep up with the best of them as long as Josh Allen is protected.
okay. Chiefs. Kelvin Joseph out of Kentucky, defensive back. I have them taking.
I would go defense with them as well.
Oh, easily somewhere on the defense. I'd say defensive back.
Their corners actually stepped it up. They're
not bad.
They were sneaky good.
I'd say they need another safety with Tyrann Mathieu though.
I would go with an inside linebacker.
Okay.
They just traded for Avery Williamson, who's also a free agent. So they would need somebody to replace him.
Okay.
That's what I would go
No,
with.
I thought he went to the Steelers. Yeah, he went to the Steelers.
The Chiefs traded for a linebacker.
I forget who it was.
Yeah.
They lost anyways.
Yeah, I know.
All
Great
right.
game.
Buccaneers. my team I have trading up.
So a couple of things with this. If Chris Godwin doesn't return, I would go wide receiver because you can't have Scotty Miller be your number 2.
Yeah.
You can't.
Or Tyler Johnson, maybe, if he steps it up. Who knows?
You never know. That's the thing. Do you
Yeah,
think Fournette will come back?
No. But I wouldn't have them go running back here.
You would go O-line?
Either O-line or
Keep in mind, they drafted a tackle last year, Tristan Wirfs.
I think I'd either keep building on the O-line or go back to the D-line.
Their
keep building on the
their
defense.
D-line is phenomenal.
I know, but you might not bring Sue back. He might be gone.
Sue is a free agent. Shaq Barrett's a free agent.
Yeah. Levante
David is a free agent.
I'd go defensive lineman here.
You could do that.
And
If anyone, like, again, this
or pass
pick,
rusher, Carlos
luckily-
Basham.
luckily for us, free agent starts in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
This pick will be all hindered on how the team does in free agency.
right.
If Chris Godwin's gone, if Ndamukong Suh's gone, if all those linebackers are gone, then that's what the pick will be based on.
Right. All right, mock draft's done. Do you want to do free agency real quick? We don't have too much time left, but we could let's burn through this.
Go through the top players.
Dak Prescott going back.
He's gonna go back. He's gonna sign either a franchise tag or a long-term contract with the Cowboys.
Let me see. I'm trying to update this where it's like the top guys. Oh geez. Whatever. All right, Dak Prescott. I can think of some guys. Patrick Peterson. Where's he going? This isn't in order. This is in the order of these guys. It's just how it is.
I could see the 49ers going after him just because they replaced him and him going with that route of revenge to play against the Cardinals again.
J.J. Watt.
Bills. That's who I think the Bills will go after.
Allen Robinson.
I think he gets tagged. But if he doesn't get tagged, I really want him on the Pats, but the Pats are not going to pay him that money.
Trent Williams.
He might get re-signed.
Kenny Golladay.
Jags.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like you're going to get a huge superstar wide receiver to go with Trevor Lawrence. I feel like Kenny Golladay is going to be that guy. If it's not Kenny Golladay, it's probably going to be Allen Robinson returning to the Jags.
Chris Godwin.
He's going to get re-upped, I think, with the Buccaneers.
T.Y. Hilton.
Patriots.
Will Fuller.
Packers.
Okay. James Conner, your boy.
Oh, God. He's going to go to, the Jets for the money. I hate him so much. He's so inconsistent. He'll have one game.
Just bring in another former Steelers running back.
Literally.
That didn't work out last time. Hunter Henry.
He's going to go to a team that has a good quarterback, so it's definitely not going to be the Patriots.
Jonnu Smith.
I want him on the Patriots.
Okay.
Jonnu Smith is the ideal tight end because I feel like he can block and receive, and he has some decent speed on him.
Evan Ingram.
What teams would need? I feel like he can go to the Cardinals. Make that team a little elite.
Mitch Trubisky.
Is he a free agent or is he?
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent?
Yep. God. Unrestricted.
He's going to be a reclamation project. So he's going to be signed as a backup quarterback for 1 year, maybe $6 million. He'll go, if the Patriots want to go after him, I guess he'll go after him.
Okay.
But other than the Patriots, it would be a team I would definitely not be surprised if he goes to Tampa.
Okay.
If they sign their backup quarterback right now is Josh Rosen. Think about that.
Yeah.
So I can see Mitch taking a backup role over there just to win a ring.
Jadeveon Clowney.
He'll go back to the Titans on short-term contract.
AJ Bouye.
So he can go to a team like the Jets if they give him the money. I can also see him going to the Colts.
Okay. Shaq Barrett. Is he staying or going?
Dude.
Levante David. Tell me both right now.
So both of them. So they're going to command so much money. They're both players are going to get close to 16 to 20 million a year.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers will get one of them back. They're not going to get both. There's no way. I feel like they're going to go after Shaq Barrett first because he's a pass rusher. And I feel like Levante David's going to go to a team like the Lions.
Yeah. Von Miller. I think he's staying.
No, he's going to get cut. He comes off as a player that just wants. I could see him on the Ravens.
Okay.
He comes off as a Ravens player to me.
Leonard Williams.
I want him on the Pats so bad. He's a force.
AJ Green.
He's washed up. I don't know. Let's see.
Bud Dupree.
He's definitely not going back to the Bengals. I'm thinking on AJ Green.
Forget AJ Green. He's awful.
He's awful.
Bud Dupree.
He's also a player that's very underrated. I would want to see him on the Pats.
Did I say Trent Williams?
He's at, yeah.
I did say Trent
I
Williams.
said he's gonna get re-signed.
Yannick Ngakwe, however you pronounce
Ngakwe.
that.
He was on the Vikings, right?
He ended up on the. He got traded like twice on the. He was ended up on the Vikings.
I could see him being like a Chiefs player, like the Chiefs going after him.
Olivier Vernon.
Going back to the Browns.
Okay, Leonard Floyd.
He's also washed up.
Yeah.
I don't know with him. He hasn't produced.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So I feel like he's gonna be like a player that goes for a 1-year contract for only like $5 million. He'll go to a team like the Colts, or he'll go to a team like the Jets, or even the Patriots. I don't know.
Aaron Jones.
Dolphins.
Mike Pouncey.
I saw that. He's gonna come out like $15 million a year. I saw that.
Mike Pouncey.
He retired.
Officially retired?
Pouncey.
It says he's here.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's one of Marquise Pouncey?
No. They both retired at the same time. The retired
I didn't
players.
see that. Wow. All right then.
Yeah,
That's
the
news to
Pouncey
me.
brothers retired. Yes.
Richard Sherman. You know, I'm thinking Bills.
He can go to the Bills. Yeah.
Just like thing just went.
Norman.
Yep. Ndamukong Suh.
I love Sue because he's such a dirty player. I could see him going to the Packers.
Marvin Jones.
He comes off as a Dolphin.
Kenyon Drake.
God, I hate him. He's not gonna get signed.
I think he's back to the Cardinals.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Anybody else?
Jared Cook.
He could be a Patriots player.
Okay. All right.
There's nobody else that pops off.
Yeah, I'd say last one probably Corey Davis. That's a pretty substantial receiver, I'd say.
He is pretty good. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, so he is a free agent.
Yeah, that's a bad move.
I could see him going to the Niners.
All right. Cool. All right, guys. I actually have some big news to close this one. I know we've been going for a while here. Just going all over the Celtics, being all over the Celtics, and that draft took a lot of time. I said, we were mumbling and all over the place for the last back half of that. I figured that's what was going to happen, but we got a big announcement. We are no longer VM Sports. I do thank you guys for the support and bringing this name to whatever it is now. I know we're not like crazy out there, but you guys have supported me a lot. Appreciate everyone. We are now going to change to the franchise podcast. I just think this is a bigger and better opportunity for the future. VM Sports doesn't pop out as much as the franchise, but this name is officially retired, and you won't be seeing it up on the screen anymore. So say goodbye one last time. It was a great start, but it's a move that needs to be made, and you're gonna see a lot more bigger and better things coming from this. We're moving up. We're moving up. So thank you all for the support. I couldn't have done this without all of you, and I'll see you all next time when we are officially the franchise.
Ice on my neck, that's incoming. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Super speed.